Hello, everybody, and welcome to Awesome Pod Arvada edition for the week of... Oh, actually, I don't know.
You don't know. Today's March 14th. That's all you need to know.
I messed that one up.
Did you?
We're live. This is live TV, folks. Welcome to Awesome Pod Arvada edition. I'm sitting here with AJ, with Hunter Bay, and Katie Winter. Hello, guys.
What's happening, guys? How are you?
We have a very exciting show for you all today. If you're tuning in live on Facebook, if you're in the crowd here, you're in for a show. We're recording from Hunter Bay, and the topic today is school walkouts. Is that right, Katie?
The topic today is what is going on in Arvada, and that's a nationwide thing. And so we're going to be talking to two of the student organizers who put together events at their school and also community-wide to unify Jeffco around this really important issue of ending violence in our schools and our communities.
We've got some young protesters in the house, so we'll get them on set. AJ, what is going on with Hunter Bay? What's the buzz been? Have you been? Have people been liking the Awesome Pod so far?
People have been loving the Awesome Pod. I've been getting people coming into the coffee shop daily asking when they can get on the Awesome Pod, actually. So I keep pointing them in your direction. Hopefully your email address and your email is getting full.
Yeah, right on. And if you want to be on the Awesome Pod, all you got to do is send an email to info@awesomepod.org. You can look us up on our website. We're very easy to get in touch with.
Very
Katie,
accessible.
Very accessible. What else today?
All right, so after we talk with our students who do need to get going to school, we are actually really lucky to have Representative Tracy Kraft-Tharp here, representing House District 29. Tracy does bills that are not necessarily sexy, but lots of local businessmen, members of our community. I mean, these are the things that need to get done, and she just slices through all the red tape and just makes it happen in our community, so I'm so happy to talk to her. After that, update from the Arvada Center. Got a lot of great things, arts and culture happening there. We're going to talk to Gavin with New Image Brewing, and I'm really excited because I love beer.
Yeah.
And I just can't drink enough of it. And then we're going to have a giveaway, right, from Klein's?
Yeah, we got Nicole Pacha in the house doing a listener giveaway, so get ready to have your trivia answers on the Facebook feed.
Yeah.
We got some great prizes for some Old Town trivia.
So we got beer, we've got whiskey, because I love Colonel Taylor. That's our Whiskey of the Month happening at Arvada Tavern. And then we've got Terrence and Heather with the Immeasurable Cookbook, right?
Oh, my God. We got a packed show. We better get into it, folks.
I know. We have no time to waste here.
So why don't we go ahead and just cover off on the events. So let's go ahead and roll some tape on events happening this week.
Thank you.
There's always lots to do in Arvada, so let's take a peek at the Arvada Visitor Center Top 5 from March 14th through March 27th. The Old Town St. Patrick's Day Street Festival is taking place this Saturday, March 17th from 12 to 6 p.m., featuring live music, craft vendors, activities and games for the kids, a community paint-by-numbers mural, and plenty of local beer, wine, and food for all to enjoy. The Apex Parks and Recreation District Bunny Breakfast will be held on Saturday, March 24th from 9 to 10:30 a.m. After breakfast, hop on over to the annual Easter egg hunt at the Stenger Soccer Fields. Bring your Easter basket. Plan to arrive by 10:45 a.m. as the egg hunt starts at 11 o'clock sharp. Now showing at the Arvada Center, Sense and Sensibility, All My Sons, Electric Baby, and Seussical the Musical. See the next generation of Broadway stars in Legally Blonde on stage now at Pomona High School through March 17th. The Arvada Community Gardens free classes start March 21st and are held on the second Wednesday of each month through September. Visit Ector's Gardens on Saturday, March 17th for a fairy garden workshop from 10 to 10:30 a.m. or terrarium building workshop from 2 to 2:30 p.m. Last call. Voting for New Image Brewery to be on the USA Today's Top 10 Craft Breweries list ends Monday, March 19th. Vote and vote often. And that's all for what's going on in Arvada from your Arvada Visitor Center. Come back and see us again.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Awesome Pod. I am sitting next to two high school students from Jeffco Schools. One is from Arvada West, one is from Golden. Caitlin Danborn and Emmy Adams. The reason we brought them on set today is to talk about school walkouts. Today's March 14th. It's the National School Walkout Day. There's a lot of activity planned throughout the country, including Jeffco. As viewers likely know, Jeffco is, Jeffco Schools is where Columbine is, so this is certainly a topic near and dear to our local students' hearts. And what we wanted to do was just talk to a couple students and find out what's the skinny in the schools, and why what's happening with our schools, and how are the students feeling. So we've got Caitlin Danborn and we've got Emmy Adams.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. So first of all, Caitlin, what tell me about your morning this morning so far.
I woke up around 4:30 a.m. and
There you go, viewers. Oh, let's.
Okay. Do I need to go like closer?
Here, there we go. We're good.
Okay, so my morning so far, I woke up around 4:30, went for a run. So I'm tired but excited to be here.
Test. Does that work? Well, so if thanks for making us feel lazy. All right, that's awesome. And Caitlin, you're an AWest student.
Yes.
And tell us your role in today's activities.
Yeah, so after the shooting in Parkland happened, I made an event on Facebook to walk out in conjunction with the rest of the nation. And shortly after I made that, our school principal reached out to me about organizing sort of a more school-wide event. So our plan for today is to walk out to one of our fields and form a heart, and a drone is going to take a picture of us, and we're going to have sort of that 17 minutes of silence to commemorate the victims of the shooting.
And so at AWest, the principal has been supportive of these efforts.
Yes.
Fair to
Yeah,
say.
and I think
was that surprising to you?
I think it was. It's just sort of knowing our principal and knowing his background.
What is that?
He's very military, so I didn't really expect that I would have this much support from him, but our administration has been very supportive of us, and I really appreciate that because...
And what's your principal's name?
Robert Bishop.
Robert Bishop. Okay,
Yeah.
supporting the young folks. And so what are you hoping that people take away from what you're organizing?
I just hope that people will see that students feel passionately enough about the issue of safety in our schools and about the issues of gun violence that we are willing to get up and walk out of class and make a visible and public statement.
And Emmy, you're over at Golden High School.
Yeah.
Tell me what you've got planned over there.
So we have a similar thing going on at 10 a.m. We're going to get all the students from their classrooms and bring them out onto one of our fields. We're going to form a huge circle with our entire student body and staff, and we're going to start the 17-minute countdown, and for each minute we're going to be talking about one victim, and we'll be having a moment of silence for them. And then at the end we're going to be releasing 17 balloons for the 17 victims, and they're compostable. So
Compostable balloons, in case anybody was wondering about that fact. And do either of you have a personal connection to this issue? What got you inspired to want to kind of take a leadership role and kind of step in here? Kaylin?
I think for me, I remember very distinctly after the Sandy Hook shooting happened, my little sister, she was 6 years old, and she was just so upset and so touched and by that shooting. And so I think her reaction to that has just kind of inspired me to want to take up an active role in this, because there's only so much tweeting and sharing that you can do, because at some point you have to get up and make an active change and do something active.
Emmy?
Well, honestly, I can't remember a time where gun violence wasn't something that I thought about. Just, I think everyone in our generation can relate to the fact that we have become so numb to gun violence, and it's very sad that people die every single day and that doesn't get on the news. It's only when it's a mass shooting that it gets on the news. And I grew up in New Zealand, where if one person is even shot in the leg by accident, that's breaking news. So it's not okay that this is a part of our culture, and just the kind of person that I am is someone who can't sit around and do nothing. So I just knew I had to do something, and if someone's got to do it, so why can't that be me?
And what about folks that might be tuning in that hunt, that guns are part of their maybe the culture, and what do you say to those folks? I mean, do you understand the other side of this issue, and is there some sort of common ground? Or
Yeah, so I think for me personally, at least, it's not about, the issue isn't about taking away everyone's guns, because I do understand that there are responsible gun owners out there. My grandfather was an active hunter, so he is one of those responsible gun owners. I think it's about just enforcing stricter gun laws to where people can use their guns in a responsible manner without the threat of violence to the rest of the community.
Well, we've got a couple of other A West students standing by in the audience. We're really happy to have such a great crowd here today, and we're going to hand it over to Katie.
Yeah, let's get some response from students and who are going to be participating today. And ladies,
good.
so what do you think? What is the thing that you hope the most will come out of this day after you participate in your walkout at school and then the event later tonight?
I think it has a lot to do with safety. I mean, our walkout is based around a tribute to those who lost their lives in the Parkland shooting, but a student who goes to school shouldn't have to sit in class and be distracted by a sound in the hallway, worried that it could turn into the worst case scenario. And so we want students to feel like they can pursue an education and not be afraid.
And Representative Kraft-Tharp, you mentioned that possibly something might happen at the Capitol today. They might honor us.
So we were talking about doing a moment of silence at 10 o'clock to both remember all the people in Florida, but also, to be part of all of our students here in Colorado.
That's amazing. That's really touching. Thank you so much to all of you for what you do each day, here in Jeffco, being part of our community. And I hope today is peaceful and safe and really does make an impact not just here in Colorado, but all across the nation. I think it will be something really, really powerful. So we're going to roll right now and show a little promotion video for the event tonight. It's 6 o'clock at the North Area Athletic Complex on 93 and 64th. All of Jeffco is invited to attend this peaceful rally to have voices heard about ending gun violence across our nation. So let's see that promotion video. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today.
We all know what happened,
but we still don't know why.
but we know it cannot happen again.
From the heart of Jeffco, across the nation,
let's come together and say never again. What happens next is up to us.
I'm sorry. That was really touching with our students. Representative Tracy Kraft-Tharp is here today to talk with us, and we just finished talking with the students from Arvada West High School and Golden High School.
So amazing, so inspirational.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that what these students are doing and that they organized it themselves and they put it together. Tracy, just some thoughts on what is going around the country and what here in Colorado. Anything that you wanted to kind of comment about that?
So listening to these students talk about, sitting in the classroom and having to be afraid of any noise, I mean, doesn't that just break your heart?
Did you hear what Emmy said? She said she doesn't know a world without gun violence or violence in schools. That means that she was born probably before Columbine, so she doesn't know schools used to be safe havens, and now they are no longer seen that way.
So it just brought tears to my eyes when I heard her say that, because it's so sad to think that that's the world, that's the environment that you've grown up in. You don't know anything else. But then to see these students, say, stop, we want to make it different. And to actually start doing things to make it different. I mean, it's so inspirational. It makes you just want to get out there and, we can all make change. We can all make a difference.
Well, I really hope all of our Jeffco community comes out tonight to the event that Emmy and Jeffco students have been planning at the NAC. But, Tracy, what got you from social work and serving our community all the way down to Colfax as a legislator? What inspired you to take that step?
So such an interesting question. I never thought that I would be, in front of the cameras. I never thought that I would be in politics. I was always the person behind the scenes working on policy my whole life. When I was a social worker, I actually was a family therapist. Oh. Yes. Right, it worked at
Is that good training for being in the legislature?
You know what? It really is. It really is, and on so many different levels. But it really helps you view change on a bigger level. So how can you make change on that bigger level? So really the leap from doing family therapy to being in the legislature is not that much of a gigantic leap.
Great to know. But I was wondering, though, there's so many, like I said before, sexy bills, and then there's things that need to get done, and I think you are both. But what's some legislation that someone in the community could say, look at it and be like, Tracy Kraft-Tharp did that for me, or made that easier for me, or my business, or my community? Is there a piece of legislation that you think we know it's all around us?
So right now we have in place a crisis system with our mental health center So we have a system where we have mobile units that are going out to help people. We have a hotline that's helping people. We have 24-hour.
Sorry, guys, we can't hear you.
Oh.
And I said such brilliant things,
I know.
too. Yes. So in 2013, we started the crisis system, where we do mobile units. We have a hotline. We have a 24-hour place where people can go when they need help. I sponsored that bill
What's
in
it called?
2013.
Is it just a crisis network? Or
Right.
just-
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Across the state.
Across the state.
Wow.
Right. So I sponsored that bill in 2013. Was very proud to do so. So hope people would think of me. However, one of my biggest non-sexy things is I have really been interested in sales tax. So Colorado has one of the most convoluted, complicated sales tax systems. So we have about 750 sales tax jurisdictions. So if you're a small business, it can take you hours and hours to figure out who do I remit my sales tax to, how much, where. I mean, it's a mess.
That sounds like a mess that you'd like to solve and take
It's a
care
mess,
of.
and I'm working on solving it.
That's excellent. So, we just realized that the legislature, the session for this year is half over already.
It is.
And it just feels like there's so much work to do out there. I know I have a couple of key things on my mind, but are there a couple of key pieces of legislation that you think are really need to happen or need to get done this session?
So let me say 3. The third one is one you're gonna is
You think
the one
I'm
on your
thinking
mind.
about?
Yes,
Okay, go
yes.
ahead. You go
But
first.
the other 2 is number 1 is transportation. We have got to figure out what we're going to do to solve our transportation problems, especially as we're moving into pothole season.
Got it.
Right. That's number 1.
Roads.
Number 2, para.
Yes, and that's a very challenging, complex issue.
It is. It is. The first bill dropped this week, was heard in committee yesterday. It's not one that I'm supporting, but it's starting the conversation. And the third
Good.
one is
what?
education.
Yes.
Yay.
That
yes.
superintendent's bill.
Superintendent's bill. Not only the superintendent's bill, but a broader around what do we do?
True.
How are we keeping our schools safe?
Yes.
How are we making sure we have quality education?
Excellent.
How are we funding education?
I love all of that, including the other things you mentioned, are so critical for all of Colorado.
Right.
Tracy Kraft-Tharp, thank you so much for all you do each and every day down at the Capitol. It's a tough job, and we appreciate you doing it on our behalf. And thank you. And then you'll have a town hall this weekend. Is there a town hall happening?
There is a town hall this weekend, Covenant Village, 10:30 to 12 o'clock. We're talking about para.
On Saturday.
We're talking about pros and cons, different reform measures of para. But be there early because it's going to be packed.
It's going to be a big session. Thank you. Representative Tracy Kraft-Tharp again, everybody.
Thank
Thank you for your time.
Hello, everybody. I am joined with Nicole Pacho with Arvada Tavern and Klein's. Nicole, thanks for joining us on the Awesome Pod.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for getting up early. What do you think about all this?
It's beautiful. Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite coffee shops to come to when I'm working on my field days. So, yeah, I love Hunter Bay, and I'm happy that I got up early too. It got me prepared for the time change that happened. So I think I'll be getting up earlier now.
The dreaded time change, and around us we're bustling with activity. We've got Gavin from New Image Brewing. We got Dave, who's a local sportscaster. We've got the cookbook couple over here that they're making up some French toast. It smells delicious. Got a state representative. This is just welcome to the Awesome Pod.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And today what we're going to do, you guys have been great supporters of the show. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
And we're going to do a little trivia giveaway for our viewers. So viewers, if you're watching live on Facebook, if you're watching this post-broadcast, you can comment on the Facebook video, or you can simply email us at info@awesomepod.org. First right answer wins. What are we playing for today, Nicole?
So one of the prizes is an Arvada Tavern gift card for $45.
Whoa, baby.
And the other one is a $25 gift card to Klein's Beer Hall, a T-shirt, and 2 pint glasses from Klein's.
And if people aren't familiar, Klein's, a couple of reasons people might want to go to Klein's.
Well, we have 56 taps of craft beer from all over the nation and a few from around the world. We also have some great food. We have a chef-driven kitchen and a lot of standard and European-inspired eats there. And again, live music on the weekends, every weekend, Friday and Saturday from 8 to 11.
That's a good reason to come by. So let's
and
play
no
for that
cover
one.
for that also.
No cover for the live music, folks. Yeah. Let's play for the Klein's gift certificate. What trivia question you got?
So the trivia question is, Stephen Hawking died on which other famous scientist's birthday?
Whoa. Okay, so
In
we're all
tribute
familiar.
to Stephen Hawking, of course, because he passed away today, I believe.
So he passed away today.
In the morning,
And,
I
and
think.
another famous scientist, Joe Seehausen. A famous LSD maker is his guest. I don't think that's the scientist we're looking for. We got Terrence over here.
Einstein. That's
Terrence
correct.
has got the
Einstein
right answer.
is the correct answer.
Well, guys, if you beat Terrence to the punch on Facebook, you can win this. But if you didn't, Terrence is going to be walking away with a Klein's gift certificate. Congratulations, Terrence. Trivia question number 2, we're playing for the Arvada Tavern gift certificate. And we want you to tell us, it's kind of a softball, viewers, how many breweries does Arvada have? And follow-up bonus, if you can name them, that's even better. But all you got to do is tell us how many breweries Arvada has in the Facebook comments, at info@awesomepod.org, or here live if anybody has an answer for that one. Nicole, thanks for stopping by the show.
Yeah, of course.
We
Thank
look
you so
forward to
much.
more trivia with you.
Thank you.
And more
Yeah,
live
of course.
music.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
All right.
Hey guys, we're back now, and now we're going to switch it up and talk about beer with Gavin Estes from New Image Brewing. Good morning.
Good morning. How
This
you
is
doing?
I'm well. How are you doing is the question. This is a little early for people in the brew industry,
Yeah,
right?
especially in the beer industry. Yeah, 7 a.m. doesn't really exist for us.
Yeah, I thought so. Maybe 7 p.m. and beyond. So, congratulations, New Image, 2 years old.
Yeah, 2 years. Super excited about it. We've definitely worked super hard to get to this point. So to go past that milestone is pretty exceptional for us.
Yeah, and how was the party? I thought you had a birthday party.
Birthday party was insane. We probably had, I don't know, it was like hard to tell, but 30 to 50 people standing outside of our door before we opened, and it was just a mad wave after that. About 6, 7 deep at the bar for about 5.5 hours. It was nuts. Four bands. Yeah, we did 4 bands.
Can you remember it? Because it was so much fun. I'm sure it's a little.
I couldn't even see people like that were here. It was like the bar just like blocked my view from the whole restaurant. It was insane.
Did it feel great to be supported by your community like that in
Absolutely.
Arvada, like Olde Town, and bringing a brewery here and making it happen?
The cool part was, like when we started and we had people that came on day 1 and then came on year 1 and then came on year 2. It was just pretty cool to see them continuing to support us and, be just as excited as we are for our brand.
Yeah, and speaking of being excited for your brand, you guys are in the running now for USA Today's top 10 new breweries.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and it's a pretty tight competition at the moment. They took 20 breweries. Don't know how we were all selected. And it's basically like a reader's poll throughout the nation. So there's votes coming in from everywhere.
I think we have that live polling. And the last time I checked the live polling on the USA Today website, you guys are
5th. Yeah, we've been sitting at a pretty solid 5 this whole time.
Has there been movement? Has there been moving around of your other breweries?
We jumped up to 4 recently last week, and then it jumped back to 5. And our friends up in Frisco, Outer Range Brewery, they've been jumping from 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and. So, but to be mentioned on a national level with, amazing breweries is pretty exciting. And to be top 10, it doesn't really matter if we're placed 1 or 5.
Yeah,
like,
you're
we're
there,
just,
right?
We're pumped
just happy to be in
on
the running.
List, yeah.
Yeah, and you're also expanding operations, I hear. You guys are taking it even bigger.
Yeah, so we're going to be neighbors in Wheat Ridge. We've got a 6,000 square foot facility that's primarily going to be a production facility. Our market with cans and hitting liquor stores and bars, we just not necessarily struggle to keep up, but there's so much demand for it that we are.
Is that a bad thing?
I would say it's one of those good bad things.
It's a good bad thing?
Yeah.
I love good bad things. So you know what, everybody, we got to make sure we get voting. Get online. You can vote all the time. You can vote every 12 hours.
There's links in our Instagram and our Facebook.
Yep.
So every 12 hours you can vote, and we would appreciate all the votes.
Yeah, so Arvada, let's go. Let's get this New Image Brewery to get higher and higher on the list. So, good morning, Gavin, and thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Now we're gonna eat a little bit here, so you can stick around if you want to.
Let's do that.
All right, we got a junior cameraman. Bear with us, folks. We got a junior cameraman here. Katie and her son are working camera duties. And what do we have here? We've got what we've been calling the cookbook couple, Terrence and Heather. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
What are we cooking up? First of all, what are we cooking up?
This is the challah back. Do you want to explain what that is?
So it is a challah French toast. It's the best bread in our opinion to use for it. We get it from this amazing local bakery called Rolling Pin in the 5 Points neighborhood. And
challah, the book just fell. Let's get that back up. Terrence and Heather, so you're a couple. You've got a cookbook out. You come from New York. So far, so good. Tell us about the cookbook. What's the name and what's the idea behind it?
So the name of the cookbook is the Immeasurable Cookbook, and the idea behind it is no measurements at all. So we call it a return to grandma style cooking, which is kind of a fun way of just playing around with your ingredients and your flavors and not being afraid to make mistakes.
And Terrence, I understand you take the photos and Heather does the writing, or do I have that backwards?
Yeah, you flip-flopped it.
Right on. So a dynamic duo here. Why did you create a cookbook? Is cooking a passion for you? What made you do this?
So funny story there. First of all, I ate horribly before I ever met Heather. Like quick access to calories kind of stuff. But Heather's sister always her name's Mary, and she always knew that Heather's an amazing cook. So for Christmas last year, they actually asked us to make her a copy of a cookbook. And that's how it all started. The first copy was handmade. We had little pouches with different spices in it and stuff like that. And then it just kind of exploded into a thing like, hey, maybe we should do this, you know?
The Immeasurable Cookbook, if folks want to check this out, what's a good website?
www.theimmeasurablecookbook.com.
They've made it easy for you guys. Give it up for Heather and Terrence. They've cooked us up some delicious French. I think we should try some, huh?
Yeah, I agree.
Come on, Kate. Katie, you want to get into this?
Yeah, totally.
Here we go. All right, you guys grab some here.
Yeah, I'm just taking it right from the grill. Yep, syrup. The egg wash.
Yeah.
It's all
Good.
about the cinnamon, too.
If you are searching for expert guides and fly fishing fun on the Front Range, be sure to check out Arvada's own 5280 Angler. Whether you were looking to try the sport for the very first time, hosting some out-of-town friends, sharpening your skills, or planning the perfect date, 5280 Angler has your entire fly fishing trip covered. The guides at 5280 have the passion, skill, and the experience to serve you. Find web specials at 5280angler.com and check out recent trip pics on Facebook and Instagram at 5280angler. 5280 Angler is passionate about service and wild about fish.
Our tummies are full. Thanks for the Immeasurable Cookbook authors. Thank you again to Terrence and Heather. And now we've got a couple of interesting folks that we wanted you to meet. Anthony, who's a gardener. We'll talk all about that. And Barb with Leprino Homes. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Awesome Pod. We've caught them a little off guard. They didn't even know they were coming on TV today. So Anthony, first of all, tell us about the community garden.
Third year starting up. It's at 7195 Sims Street. It's a community garden. It's on a property owned by a church, but they don't have anything to do with the garden other than saying, yeah, we support it and are a part of it. So
if you've been driving on Sim Street and you go to 72nd and you look on your left, you'll see a large garden that kind of sprung up how long ago?
Yeah, well, this will be it's 2 years ago, so 16 and 17 now, and 18th, the gardeners are about ready to get the seeds going. We're going to have our first meeting and get all the gardeners together. There's about 30 gardeners now this year. Started with 15, so it's been growing, and it's a community project. A lot of the community stuff that's going on here today is similar to what we're trying to do there.
Well, and that's what makes Arvada such a special place. It's all about community. If folks want to get involved with this garden, where do they go?
Common Earth Community Garden. There's a website. A lot of events planned for this year. We've had 2 music festivals later in the summer. We're going to have that. Dog show was fun last year. We're going to have some happy hour type things with maybe not too much beer, but maybe we might sneak some in there. And trying to have a fun year. So there'll be events. Common Earth Community Garden.
So the Common Earth Community Garden, make sure to check that out. And Barb with Leprino Homes, tell us, what is Leprino Homes? You're relatively new to Olde Town, is this right?
Yes, it's Leprino Home, and this is our second location in Arvada. We have a central location down in Denver, and we love being here in Arvada, and thanks for AJ inviting us, and we're one street over on 5612 Yukon.
I will tell you, Arvada is just crawling with real estate agents because of the booming market, I assume.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah. It's still a good time to be in real estate, particularly here locally, Adam.
Oh, yes. Great time to be in real estate. Come by and look at our window. You can actually interact with our window display, bring up houses yourself, and look at other lenders, title people, and us.
Leprino Home. And what's the website?
LeprinoHome.com.
Everybody is making it so easy for us today. LeprinoHome.com. Thank you guys for joining the show.
Thank you.
And lastly, thank you guys. Okay. Lastly, I want to bring out Dave, our closer. We're going to bring in a professional to close this thing today, guys. We don't have Corey to play music, but we do have Dave.
Good morning. Thank you.
Well, first of all, judge the performance. You're a professional radio guy. Give me some pointers.
This is great. I had no idea we were actually on video, or else I would have cleaned up a little. I thought it was just audio. No, this is great. I love seeing Old Town Arvada blow up. I love Hunter Bay. This is fun. Thank you for inviting me. Thanks for having me.
And so you have a radio show.
I do. I'm on Mile High Sports, 1340 AM, 104.7 FM. I do my show from 6 to 7. Monday through Friday in the morning. So I've been up since 4:15. So this is midday for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're just getting. So we got a lot of radio talent. Do you know Joe with Pirate Radio? You guys need to meet.
I don't. We need to talk. Yep. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
By the way, guys, we were on to something big. We had Joe on talking about Pirate Radio 2 shows ago, and Westward on their cover story is actually about Pirate Radio. So we're ahead of the trend there.
Nice.
Dave, so you mentioned the radio show. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You also work at Klein's, right?
I help out across the street at Homegrown.
Homegrown, I'm sorry, yes.
Help them out, do a little managing when they need me. But I'm a Jersey guy. I just love sports. I was an actor for 20 years in New York and L.A., so I'm still entertaining people on the air. I'm talking sports. I love sports. I love football. It's a football town. The Broncos free agency right now. March Madness. The Masters is around the corner. I'm blessed. I get paid to do what I love.
And what about Premier League? Any soccer in your mix?
Yeah, we do a little Rapids. Yeah, Howard is a big name here for the Rapids.
Yeah.
So Denver's one of 12 cities that has all 4 major sports teams. The Rapids. It's a great sports market.
Well, great. Well, we look forward to maybe like a regular little sports segment because I don't know about you viewers, but for me, I can't keep up with everything. I watch a little Premier League soccer.
Yep.
I keep up with my team. That's pretty much all I can be, solid on. But knowing what's going on with the other teams is always helpful because when you're at a party and people start talking Broncos and I start, getting out of my comfort zone.
Yep.
So we need to have you on and tell us, what the scuttlebutt is in the sports section.
Happy to do it.
All right, Dave. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You guys tune in next 2 weeks from now. We record live from Hunter Bay. Every other Wednesday. You're welcome out between 7 and 8 a.m. We thank you for tuning in. You can shoot us a note at info@awesomepod.org if you want to be on the show, if you've got story ideas, if you just want to connect with us. We certainly appreciate any feedback you send us. And that trivia, Jake, I believe, Jake is indicating the trivia is still open. How many breweries does Arvada have? Type that into the comments, and you can win a gift certificate for the Arvada Tavern. Until next time, have a great week.